Previously on Top Travel.
Janez, we are starting our epic journey.
I think we're gonna have the best time of our lives.
I know, and our first country, Canada.
I walked into Janez's suite and was riddled with guilt because he got the suite and, well, I got the penthouse.
You promised we'd be equal on this trip and you've already broken the rules.
Oh, Janez, it's called logistics and timing. It's not my fault they upgraded me.
As I'm sitting here, my eyes are burning. I can hardly keep them open. I've never felt this effect of jet lag before. I'm hitting the sack.
This week on Top Travel. Vancouver is completely surrounded by water. However, Janez's sailing was much to be desired. So today I've been given a rare opportunity to experience this beautiful city from a bird's eye view. Hi, John. How are you?
Hi, Jeannie. Great. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. So this is what we're going to be flying in.
This is it.
Oh, this is going to be so cool. All right.
Here we go. Watch your steps up and everything. But the tires?
Oh, my word. This is the strangest sensation. Everything is moving, and I'm not quite sure if I'm a little seasick still from yesterday, but even the concrete is moving. This is so amazing. Just the concept of an aeroplane taking off on water. Janez is going to be so jealous. We have a lot of fun on these trips. However, I'm the only girl, and our crew is very mischievous, and our cameraman sort of whispered something to the pilot and said, give her a bit of a scare. And that plane just went goop. Went through a little dip. Felt like an air pocket. But my insides all sat in my throat for a moment. I got the biggest fright of my life.
Oh, it was a beautiful flight today. It was a gorgeous day. Yeah, it was nice and smooth. We hit one small air pocket, and it was fun to see the Jeannie's reaction, but all safe, all a lot of fun, and generally just a great flight today.
Janez, did you know that about 30% of Vancouverites speak either Mandarin or Chinese, making the Chinese the biggest minority ethnic group in Vancouver?
But the reason there's so many Chinese in Vancouver is because this is the gateway to China. This is the closest Canadian port to China. And another reason is they actually built a railway, which is called the Pacific Canadian Railway. And that ended in Vancouver. So when all those laborers that were brought in landed here, they had nothing to do, they stayed.
Not a bad place to stay. Vancouver's Chinese garden was built from 1985 to 1986 using time-honored principles and techniques of an original Ming Dynasty garden. Why was this garden established in the middle of Vancouver?
The Chinese population in Vancouver has always been important, and so in the 1980s, they kind of conceived the idea of having a garden like this, which is a classical Chinese garden. We're very, very multicultural here in Vancouver, so this is a great place to bridge the gaps between cultures.
It's really a calming sanctuary in the middle of a bustling city. Tell me about the design.
Back in the Ming Dynasty, when these were actually the most popular in China, this would have been a home. One of the elite families in China would have lived here. Most of them were in Suzhou, and they were actually way bigger than this. This would have been one small part of someone's family home. When I am here, I imagine this is mine.
The furniture is really kept quite simple.
The Ming Dynasty was known for its very classical lines. They used beautiful wood and then almost a flowing shape. You can always tell Ming if your hands want to reach out and touch it.
That's such a nice way of describing it. I want to touch that table, only I want to take it home with me as well. Hello. You look so peaceful sitting here.
This is the most tranquil spot in the whole of Vancouver. Jeannie, you won't believe what I found. This is the oldest species of tree in the world, or one of the oldest. And it's called a ginkgo tree, and if you pull one of its leaves off, you'll see what you notice there. It has no spine.
Oh yes, all those little veins.
Incredible. Did you notice ginkgo on the right, maple leaf on the left, uniting China and Canada? Nice outfit, Jeannie.
No, go upstairs and get changed.
It's either this or we're late.
Okay, look, we are not twins. Secondly, I'm not running around town with you looking like I bought my outfit in a his and hers bargain bin.
Sorry for you.
Okay.
Chelsea,
Yeah.
without looking over the side, how high are we?
We are 230 feet above the water.
Now, honestly, this is probably the most beautiful rainforest I've ever seen, and it's hard to believe that we're only 10 minutes outside Vancouver.
I know, it's quite amazing when you think about it. That's what most guests find really appealing about this location, is the fact that you've got the fresh air, the trees, the wilderness, the water, all coming together. It's basically giving you a quintessential experience of Canada.
And why did they build this?
Basically, it was a trading post, so they wanted to get from here to the other side.
Unbelievable. Okay, let's walk off the bridge now.
All right, guys, so this way is treetops.
I'm gonna love and leave you guys. I've had enough of the suspension bridge. I'm gonna go that way. Cheers, girls. While Jeannie was doing the treetops, I decided to explore the land by foot. And there's so much vegetation. There's so many forests in Vancouver. This whole country is basically covered by rainforests. It's so beautiful. I spent a couple of hours just walking around, looking at the vegetation, looking at the little squirrels. It was beautiful. Just walking through this rainforest, it's incredible to think how much time it's taken for these trees to grow so tall. Me personally, I'd rather be grounded than on some silly suspension bridge.
It's so funny to see tourists coming and getting shocked with what they see, because I'm so used to it, seeing it every day in my work environment, but tourists are just blown away by the landscape and the scenery. Within the park, we've got our main suspension bridge, as well as our newest feature. It's called Treetops Adventure, and it's a set of 7 suspended bridges, which are all about 100 feet off the forest floor.
Oh, you can really feel the bounce on this bridge. You can see why Treetops has become one of Vancouver's quintessential activities. It is really relaxing to be out here and take in all the fresh air from these cedar-scented rainforests and these fantastically tall Douglas fir trees. This rainforest is completely eco-friendly, so no damage was done to the trees when putting up these suspension bridges. So what's holding them together?
Well, that was a key element in the engineering, so we made it in a way that it will be sustainable and it will actually expand with the tree growth itself.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't I hear you say it was just down the road?
They said it was a few kilometers.
Don't you think they meant miles?
Oh, you know, stop complaining. How often do you get to experience the great outdoors, taking the fresh air? Besides, this is such a good cardio workout. You know what it's doing for my thighs.
No, I appreciate that. I love the good weather, but I did tell you to bring a map.
I pride myself in the fact that I have quite a keen sense of direction. So when we left the suspension bridge, I decided to walk to the salmon hatchery. Didn't realize it was going to be such a walk.
Oh, walking to the salmon hatchery. Never again. I told Jeannie at the hotel, get a map, get a map. No, don't worry, I know where to go. Don't worry, I'm good at orientation. I'm like, I'm also good, but we've never been here before, and a map is always a good idea.
A nice long walk I find quite invigorating.
So we walked, and we walked.
Janez, on the other hand, didn't enjoy the ride quite as much.
Started sweating, had no deodorant with me, arrived at the salmon hatchery. By that time, she was so excited to see the fish, I was just like, whatever. Well done, Jeannie. Your navigation skills aren't too bad.
Survival of the fittest 101. Just follow the sound of water. You know what I was thinking? The life of a salmon is pretty rough. You live, you spawn, you die. And that's if at the prime of your life you don't end up on someone's plate with a slice of lemon on your fins.
But Jeans, the odds of a salmon egg making it into a fully grown salmon are really small. But the Canadians have come up with an ingenious method to beat the odds.
Why exactly does this hatchery exist?
This hatchery exists because of a dam that was built, the Cleveland Dam, in 1954 on the Capilano River that effectively cut off 80 to 90% of the spawning and rearing habitat for the returning salmon on the Capilano River.
And what is the process of catching the fish? Do you have nets?
The fish in this river, they get to a certain point and then they hit a barrier and then they swim into the hatchery. There's a ladder, we call it a fish ladder, that they come into the hatchery, and then we collect them from there, and we collect enough that we can spawn enough, get enough eggs, and then return young back to the river to keep the run going from year to year.
And what is the lifespan of a salmon?
The lifespan for salmon changes depending on what species it is. For coho salmon, it's normally 2 years in the ocean and before they return. For Chinook, it can vary from, they can come back after 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years from the same group leaving the river. So there's a lot of variety in return rates, and that just adds to their overall survival strategy.
Now we need to transfer these fish from here to that.
Yes.
No, you can just.
So we just gotta pick them up slowly.
That's the big steelhead.
Brainstorm.
Okay, now I'm going to take this fish
Okay, you're gonna put it in that.
and I'm going to put it in that tube. No, don't move.
It's gonna wake up. It's gonna wake up.
Okay, can I grab a big one?
Here.
Let me put this one in.
Yeah.
Okay, quick.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, move. Okay, this is very stressful, guys. This is a really, really strong, fast production line.
I'm checking to see if it has that.
Oof. Jeans, besides almost falling off a hanging bridge, I think we've had a great day in the Canadian outdoors.
I prefer my salmon seared. I need a bath.
Cheers. Cheers, darling. You know, Jeannie, the West restaurant is really one of the jewels of Vancouver's culinary crown.
So when a top chef takes time out of his busy schedule to close down his restaurant to cook for two very special guests, that would be us. Now that is a rare privilege.
So we've closed the restaurant today for lunch, so we can demonstrate why we are one of the top restaurants in Vancouver, about the produce we use, the freshest produce, the seasonal produce, and the local produce, and the way that we treat it with respect. And we try and do something special with it to make it exciting, not just visually, taste-wise, the whole experience. Today we're going to make one of our signature dishes. This is the tian of couscous and Dungeness crab. The true characteristics of this dish are obviously the sweetness of the Dungeness crab, one of the big ingredients from the West Coast. And we bind the Dungeness crab with humus, so we get that earthiness in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to pair it with the saffron couscous, so we've got that nice, strong saffron, not just colour and flavour as well. And then to lift the whole dish, to make everything really come out and shine, we serve it with a smoked tomato gazpacho.
Oh, Warren, thank you so much. It looks delicious. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit, madame.
Oy vey, it's collapsing.
It looks like a sandcastle that you're breaking down. Yeah, here we go.
Oh, my word.
It just breaks down. Jeannie, if this is how we're going to eat, then we're in for a good thing, girl.
Good for you. I'm worried because this is sensational. Food is really healthy as well.
Yummy, yummy. Oh my gosh.
That is sponge cake surrounding mousse. Sorry, Inez, but I had to.
You know what this is, Jeannie? This is what life's all about. Small pleasures. Do you know how they named Grouse Mountain? One random hunter basically shot a small little grouse and they named the whole mountain after it.
Must have been a really good shot. However, 1.2 million tourists come here annually, some to see the view. But me, I want to see a grizzly.
Me too.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard our Grouse Mountain Super Sky Ride. As you can tell, we're just leaving our valley station. It's a 6-minute trip to the top of the mountain today, and we're going up to a height of 3,700 feet or 1,100 meters above the city of Vancouver.
Don't you think this is the perfect way to spend our last day in Vancouver?
Absolutely, because it's just the perfect vantage point to see where we've been and how we've just toured the whole city. God, this is scary.
I'm happy we're alive.
That's great. Grouse Mountain is really beautiful any time of the year. You can come here in summer like we are, and there's just amazing hiking trails, beautiful bird life, and in winter they've got some of the best skiing. But at the moment it's really heating up. Such a hot day, I need to cool down a bit. Yep, just like being on the beach. You see the bigger, darker one, that is Kula. Shame she was discovered on the side of the road because her mother had been killed by a car. But you know what's amazing, just animal instinct, is that all 3 of her cubs waited with her, and the one unfortunately didn't survive. The other one escaped, and the third one was Kula.
And Grinder was orphaned in 2001 and he was found all alone without a mother. They actually can't even figure out where the mother went to. And he was found on a logging road, all on his own, completely underweight. He weighed only 4.5 kilos. And he was taken in by a local veterinarian. And here he is on Grouse Mountain.
Look at the size of it.
That is something I would never want to encounter in the wild.
But look how they put on a show when the school kids come. It's almost as if they know they need to perform.
They're a bit like me in that regard. Devin, what is life like here for the bears compared to their natural environment?
What we've tried to do with our habitats here is simulate a natural environment. So what you see here is pretty much natural mountainside that was here before the bears arrived. We did a little bit of water work here to give them a pond, but this is Grouse Mountain property that was here for the last thousands of years, and so the bears are now in it. And bears would traditionally have been living in this area in the past, so it's very natural, I believe.
This was really exciting because I got to see a grizzly for the first time. And we got quite close to it, but I didn't realize they were so big. He just had these massive claws. Wow. I'm quite glad there was a fence separating us, put it that way. Wow.
How skillful is that?
You need really strong core muscles and stabilizers to do that. I bet you can't do that.
What?
I said, I bet you can't do that.
Jeannie, you should know better than that and to give me a challenge.
I dare you.
The day's on, girl. Let's go. Bring it on. Bring it on.
I'd love to see him try and do this.
We have a good spin out there. It gets pretty gnarly. We try to rip it up, and I'm world champion right now, so I got a lot of guys after my tail.
Something tells me I don't trust you.
So I'm gonna get out there first. Okay. I'm gonna get it ready, and then you can come and join me, okay?
You're gonna get it ready for me to fall in.
So you do this. Move your feet.
Try again. I believe you could do better than that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let me try it on my own. Can I try it on my own?
No way. Come on.
He's very competitive, and he couldn't handle that he couldn't stay on the log for very long, although I was very impressed with what he did because I wouldn't have survived that long.
Janez's performance was average. He had a lot of drive. You could tell he wanted it. It was just right there, but he couldn't grab it.
Actually, I don't even want to talk about that pole experience because I've got this theory that I'm good at doing everything, and I think that day on Grouse Mountain wasn't a good day for me.
I have seen better, way better, but that's beside the point.
It was dismal. He wasn't even on there for 2 seconds.
That was useless.
Shame. Hi. Oh, wow, that's a big bird.
Yes, it is.
You were so comfortable with this bird. You have no fear.
Yeah, no fear. He's very I'm very comfortable with him, and he's comfortable with me. Rocco was born with us at the farm in captivity, so being born around humans, he's very accustomed to being around humans. So he has no fear. He's very accustomed to us.
Bird watching in Vancouver is phenomenal. What sort of birds are indigenous to this area?
Wow, we have a lot of birds. Actually, here in British Columbia, we have over 25% of all the bald eagles population. Bald eagles are strictly a North American species, so Canada and the USA, but we have over 25% right here in this province. This is the perfect environment for these birds. We're surrounded by water, we have mountains, we have forests. They absolutely love it here. We have also turkey vultures, red-tailed hawks, we have peregrine falcons, merlins, kestrels. We have a vast area of birds of prey. It's very fantastic.
I must say, Jeannie, I've had the best days of my life here. The weather's been perfect, the city is awesome. I think I might move here one day.
I'm just so glad we've got our last few hours in the sun, because I've got a sneaking suspicion that Alaska is going to be freezing cold.
I hope you've packed your warm weather gear. Cheers to Vancouver.
To Vancouver.
And cheers to hopefully coming back here one day. Jeannie, which reminds me, we don't have much time left, and I don't think we want the Millennium to miss out on its 2 top performers.
Janez, please don't rush me. Firstly, I need to take my time when I travel in luxury, because if I rush, I'm going to forget something.
I can promise you one thing. The Millennium won't even wait for the Queen. Bye-bye now.
Enjoy. Our next journey takes us on a 7-day cruise on the Millennium Celebrity Cruise Liner. We're going to be going through the Inside Passage all the way to Alaska. It's one of my dream destinations, and I cannot wait to see those icy glaciers. That's the ship. I'm late. That must be the Millennium waiting for me. Janez is already packed, probably waiting in the queue already to board the boat. And I'm still enjoying the park. Alaska, here we go. Next week on Top Travel.
Never thought I'd feel this way. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm glad I got a chance to say that I do believe I love